Welcome back. So far we have seen the mathematical modeling of electrical and mechanical systems. So today we start the concept of system representation through two different approaches called block diagram representation and signal flow graph. So in block diagram representation of a system, the system that may contain several subsystems can be represented using blocks, summing points, and takeoff points. These are the different terms, and even we can say branches are also there. So let us consider one example so that we will have the idea. Let us consider a level control system. This is a simple feedback control system. So this is flow in, I will call it as F in, this is flow out, F out, and our purpose is to control the level inside the tank at the desired value. So in this case what is done, this level is continuously measured using level sensor, and it is also transmitter, so it is generally referred as level transmitter, means measurement plus transmission is done in a single block. Then the measured value is connected to a level controller where the set point is applied, and then the output of controller is connected to a valve. The same can be represented using a block diagram. Now, this contains several subsystems. One of the system is say for example the tank. Another subsystem is level transmitter. Another subsystem is level controller. Another subsystem is valve. And every element will have its own transfer function. So the transfer function can be represented by a block. So block will contain a transfer function, and these subsystems are connected together by several means. So like say for example, in this case the diagram can be, here we have a system with transfer function say g of s. The level is continuously measured, and that measurement, let this be G1, let this be G2. So this G2 is a transfer function of level transmitter. Then this measured signal is connected to the error detector where a set point is applied, plus minus. Then there will be a controller, this level controller. Let this be GC of S. Then this signal is connected to the valve. So here I have a valve. So let this valve be G3, and it is connected like this. This is F in, correct, and this valve, through this valve it is connected. So now this is the block diagram for the particular system. Now if I am interested in finding out the overall transfer function, let this set point is denoted by R of S and output is denoted by Y of S. So we know that input to the transmitter is the output of G1, output of G2 is connected to error detector where the comparison takes place. The output of error detector is connected to controller, output of controller is connected to wall, and hence like this. We want to find out the overall transfer function, say y by r. Then how to find? So for that purpose, the block diagram algebra is useful. So we have seen how the block diagram representation can be done, and now let us enter into block diagram algebra and the block diagram reduction rules. Because if you want to find out y of s by r of s, this entire shall be converted into a single block, means this shall be converted into a single block having input r of s, output y of s, and let this be the overall transfer function g of s. We want to do this, but how to do this? So for that purpose, there are certain rules of block diagram reduction through block diagram algebra. So let us start with it. Block diagram reduction rules. In all, there are 10 rules. So one by one we will see. We start with very simple. The blocks in series get multiplied. What does it mean? Say for example, we have two blocks G1 and G2 in series, and let this be y of s and let this be r of s. Then this rule says that this is equivalently represented as, this one is equivalently represented as G1 G2, and let us call this as y only. All are variable of s, so let us y and r. Let us not enter into the complications. So here y of s by r of s is G1 G2, so they are combined. And let us see its proof. Why this is so? Say we have here G1, this is G2, let this be r, let this be y, and let us assign here one variable b for our sake. Then what I can get? Y is equal to b into G2. B into G2 is y. And what is b? B is equal to, or in practice it is reverse order, it shall be G2 into b, and here it will be G1 into r, and hence y is equal to G1 G2 r, and that employs y by r is equal to G1 G2. So r gets multiplied with G1 G2 gives y. Very simple. This rule is useful when the blocks are in series. Let us move to rule number 2. The blocks in parallel get added or subtracted. If the sign is plus, they will be added. If the sign is minus, they will be subtracted. What this says, that if we have here G1 G2 let us take this as plus plus. Let here we have r and here we have y. So these blocks are in series, in parallel, and these blocks are in series. So when the blocks are in series, the blocks are in series when the two blocks have nothing in between. So there is nothing in between them, no signal is going out or nothing is coming in, just they are connected in series. Like here, these two are in parallel. Why? Because both blocks have same input and their output is added, and that is why they are in parallel. So its equivalent is now if here I is minus, then this will be G1 minus G2. If here is minus, this is plus, then it will be G2 minus G1. So it is very simple. Like that is why it is algebra. Just it is like normal algebra of variables, but it is related to block diagram, so it is called as block diagram algebra. So here also we can prove it. How we can prove it? For the proof, let us consider that G1 is up here and this is the output. Let this be output is B1. Let this be output is B2. So what is y? Y is equal to B1 plus B2. What is B1? B1 is G2 into R. What is B2? B2 is G2 into R. So this is nothing but G1 plus G2 into R. And so Y by R is equal to G1 plus G2. Let us now consider the third one. The third is resolving feedback. So if we have, instead of series or parallel, if we have a block in feedback like this, you should understand when the blocks are in series, when the blocks are in parallel, when the blocks in feedback. If you do not understand this, that whether the blocks are in series, parallel or feedback, then you cannot apply the block diagram algebra. The feedback can be positive or negative. We will consider both. So in this case, it is nothing but this y by r is given by g upon 1 plus minus gh r and y. So how this is done? How this is done? So let us, what we will do in proof, here itself I will assign the variables. Let this be E, let this be B. So let us do it for first the negative feedback. So for negative feedback, what we have? Let me do it separately. For negative feedback, y is equal to Eg, correct? E is equal to R minus B, which is equal to R minus EGH. Don't get YH, but this B is nothing but E into G into H. So E GH, and hence what I get? So R is equal to E into bracket 1 plus GH. Correct? This will come here. And what we have? Y is Eg. So Y by R is equal to Eg upon E into bracket 1 plus GH. That is G upon 1 plus GH. Very simple. So this is for the negative feedback. And for positive feedback, again y is equal to Eg will be same, but E will be equal to R plus B, and that is equal to R plus EGH, and hence R is equal to E into bracket 1 minus GH, and then y by R will be what? Y by R will be Eg upon E into bracket 1 minus gh. So this is g upon 1 minus gh. This is very useful because what we are dealing with is feedback control system. So feedback will always be there, and the feedback used in the control system is always almost negative feedback. In some cases it may be positive, but it is not realized. Always it is a negative feedback. But mathematically we should know, that is why we are doing it. So you see these three configurations. These are the three basic configurations. If the system is not in these three configurations, then we have to bring it into either of the three. How? By using the further rules. Seven more rules are there. But one should understand that what is meant by series. Now see, for example, if I put here a line like this, signal is moving somewhere or signal is coming from somewhere, then these two will not be in series. Same way here, this is parallel. Yes, correct. But if I take a signal from this, like here, it will not be a parallel. Like here, this is a feedback loop. But if I take a signal out from here from this, it will not be a feedback. Then in that case we have to do the alterations about the summing point and the takeoff point. So this is summing point, this is called as takeoff point. Takeoff point, summing point. Here there is neither summing point nor takeoff point. So these are the three basic rules, and let us move ahead with the rule number 4, that is interchanging summing points. This is also sometimes useful. Less frequently used rule, but it is also useful. So what exactly it means, that if we have a summing point number 1, let here I have applied input R, let here be the input B1, then we have another summing point having B2, say plus, say plus, minus, and this is Y. Now these are the two summing points where there is nothing in between them. So there is nothing between, neither a block nor a signal is moving out of it. So these two blocks can be interchanged, like let me call this as S1 and this as S2. And now what I will do, I will put S1 here and I will put S2 here. So input to S2 is B2 with negative sign, input to S1 is B1 with positive sign. And you check now, are they same? They will be same if Y is unchanged. If Y is unchanged. So here, what is Y? Let me write here itself. Here Y is equal to R plus B1. So here R plus B1 is coming. R plus B1 is coming here, and out from that B2 is subtracted. So minus B2. And in this case also it is R minus B2 plus B1. So they are same. And that is why this is permissible. This interchanging the summing points, this is permissible only if there is nothing between the two summing points. They are directly coupled. Let us move to next rule. Next rule is shifting summing point before block. Or you can also call this as shifting block after summing point. But what we are following the terminology, that we will shift summing point and takeoff point before and after the block to form the rule number 5, 6, 7, 8. So here the case is that, say for example, we have here a block G and applied input is R, and then we have here a summing point. and to that summing point let us apply a signal B and to get Y. Correct. Now what is happening? Suppose after this block there is another block, and we want to bring these two in series, and then this block is becoming the hurdle. So what we have to do? Either shift this summing point before this block, or shift this summing point after, if the block is here, after this block. Both things are possible, but the guideline says that shift the summing point towards left as far as possible. So here the equivalently this can be shifted to, now block will come here and summing point will come here. Plus, correct. And let us apply here for a y. Instead of B, let us apply B1 for a y. Why? Because we cannot apply B as it is. See, here this y is equal to Rg plus B. Correct. And if I apply it here B, then y will become what? R plus B1 into G. So that is Rg plus B1G. And when you are doing these manipulations, you cannot change the values. Like, say, simple example you can take. If you have 100 rupees and you want to make a change in the form of notes of 50. So replacement cannot be by the number of notes, but replacement will be by the value. So you shall replace the notes of 50 with two quantity, 50 into 200. Similarly here, both shall remain the same, they shall not change, but here it is changing. So that means so B1 is equal to 1 by G into B, and hence the same can be drawn as this block will come here 1 by G, and then I will apply here this B, and then there will be G. Yes, now what is this Y? This Y I can say clearly this is R plus B by G into G. So Rg plus B, it is same. So what is happening? Whenever you shift it here, you have to multiply this signal by reciprocal of this block, reciprocal of this. Because here while moving this B to Y, it was not getting multiplied with G, but here it is getting multiplied with G in the path. So we have to divide by G, so that 1 by G into G will maintain the signal. So this was rule number 5. The next, rule number 6, shifting summing point after block. Just said here, while explaining this, I said if the block is here, then we can shift it ahead of this block also. So let us see that. So what is the case here is, here we have a summing point, then a block, this is Y, let this be R, say plus plus, and here I am applying B. And now I want to shift this summing point after the block. Means what will happen? Here I will have this block first, and then the summing point. Can we apply same B as it is? No. So let us find what we have to apply, and for a while we will note it as B1. So again the same thing we will do here. It is nothing but R plus B into G, that is Rg plus Bg, and here in this case it is Rg plus B1, and that means B1 is equal to Bg. So here exactly opposite of this means what we need to do. If we want to maintain the same input, because the input, this input is what? It is coming from some other subsystem. So that signal we cannot change. So B has to be there. We cannot have B1. But for making it B, we need to multiply it with the block of G, and then here we apply B. And then let this be Y, this is R. Now you find this is nothing but equal to Rg plus Bg is maintained. What is the key point? We shall not change any value, because all these signals, this Y is going to some other system. This B1 or this B, this is coming at this point from some other system. So this signal cannot be altered. These signals shall not be altered. Just we have to make the mathematical adjustments by shifting the blocks, summing point and takeoff point. Why for? Because we want to bring the system in the basic three configurations: series, parallel or feedback. So this was about rule number 6. Now rule number 7. The rule number 7 is, now we have shifted summing point, let us now shift the takeoff point. Shifting of takeoff point before block. Once we will shift it before block and once we will shift it after block. So what is it? What we have? We have here a block with transfer function G, and the input is R, and let this be Y, and we are taking a signal out. This is supplied to some other system, and this is the takeoff point. So what we want, say for example, after this takeoff point there is another system and I want to bring them in series. So this takeoff point is the hurdle. Either I have to shift this towards before this block, or if there is another block, after that block. So shifting takeoff point before the block, after the block. So first let us see shifting takeoff point before the block, and what we need to do, all the signals Y and B shall maintain the same. So let me shift it earlier, and for a while let us call this as B1, correct? But this signal is fed to some other system, so the signal when we are putting it here, it shall be the same. So one thing is clear, while going it from this way, this R was getting multiplied with G. So what we have here is Y is equal to Rg and B is equal to Rg. Now in this case, Y is equal to Rg, but B1 is equal to R, and that means to make it B, what we have, B is equal to, so I will write here, so B is equal to B1 into G, and that means it is nothing but this G is here, this is Y, R, I have to put here block G, and then I will get here B, otherwise not. This is B1, but when B1 is multiplied with G, I get B, and this B is moving to some other system, this is also B, so nothing is altered. Very simple. Let us move to next. Exactly opposite of this. Shifting takeoff point after the block. Means what we have here a block, we have here a takeoff point with B, and this is output Y. is R. So what is R? Sorry, what is Y? Y is RG. What is B? B is R. Now what I will do? I will shift this takeoff point after the block. So G, this is Y here, and let this be B1. But we want to make it B. So here if you see Y is RG, not altered, it is same. But what is B1? B1 is also RG, but we want B is equal to R. So we have to multiply this. So B is equal to B1 by G. And that is why we have to make a change, like say for example this will be then it is B. And here you can see what is Y? Y is equal to RG, same as the initial condition. And what is B? B is equal to R into G into 1 by G, that is R. See, same. So done. So these are the first 8 rules which are very normally used. But now we will see 2 critical rules. These are very critical rules that sometimes even after using the rules number 4 to 8, it is not possible to bring the system into first 3 cases like series, parallel and cascade. And then in exceptional case only we have to use these rules if at all we cannot simplify the diagram using first 8 rules. And that is nothing but shifting takeoff point after the block, after the summing point. So here what we are doing, takeoff point we are shifting after the summing point, means initially if this is a summing point, let this be Y, here I have another signal, let this be B, let this be R, and I have here a takeoff point, and let this be B1, okay, and let this be plus plus. So here what I get Y is equal to R plus B, and B1 is equal to R. Now what I want to do is, I want to shift this takeoff point here. The summing point is there. This summing point is there, but this takeoff point I am shifting here. And what it is doing? See, we are getting Y is equal to R plus B. But B1 is also R plus B. In this case, B1 is R. Means we have to subtract B from this. And that is why we need to add here a summing point. Then only it will be B1 plus minus. And now you can see here it is R plus B. R plus B is here, minus B, so it is R, same as this. So this case, these two are equivalent. This case is not adding any block, but it is adding a summing point, and this makes the simplification difficult. So we need to use this rule, and also the rule number 10. Let us see the rule number 10, and then I will discuss. Shifting takeoff point before the summing point. This is the last rule. And in this case what we have? We have here a summing point and a takeoff point. Let this be B1, let this be B plus plus y r. So what is y? Y is equal to r plus b. At the same time B1 is also r plus b. Correct. But now we want to shift it earlier. Means what we will do? We will have here a summing point, and this is y, and this is r. This be b plus plus, and here from this I will take the takeoff point. So now actually I wanted b1 to be r plus b, but here I am getting it r. So we need to add b. So how to add b? Put here a summing point plus plus, and then this is b1. So this b1, this is r plus b, and this is same as r plus b. So maintain. So again here also one summing point is added. So in these two cases the summing points are additional, and this creates difficulty in the simplification. That is why use these rules if and only if it is not possible to simplify the diagram using first 8 rules. So the steps, now I will list down the steps in block diagram reduction, and I will end up the lecture. Steps in block diagram reduction. What is our purpose? We have to reduce the entire block to a single block system. So first one, check for blocks in series. If they are, resolve them, couple them, combine them. If G1 and G2 are in series, make it G1 G2, and replace these two blocks with a single block having function G1 G2. If it is not, then check for parallel. Check for blocks in parallel. If there are blocks in parallel, add them. G1 plus G2, replace the block. So the summing point will be reduced G1 plus G2 a single block. Then next, if this is also not there, then check for feedback loop and resolve it if it is there. Feedback. If it is there, resolve it using say G upon 1 plus GH. Then if all three are not there, then using rules 4 to 8, bring the system or diagram to a form such that either 1 or 2 or 3, 1 or 2 or 3 exist. If that is not possible, then using rules 9 and 10, 9 and or 10, bring the system to a form such that either 1 or 2 or 3 exist. 1 or 2 or 3 means 1 or 2 or 3. So if 1 is existing, then again check for 1. If not, move for 2. If not, move for 3, and so on, and bring it to the form. And one note is there: as far as possible, shift takeoff points towards left, sorry, right and summing points towards left. So use this and convert a block diagram into a single block. We are also going to do that, but not in this lecture. In this lecture we have seen all 10 rules. In the next lecture we will solve few examples on block diagram algebra. Thank you.